January 26, 2026. And we've got a roll call on the agenda. So as I understand it, we're obligated to actually do a roll call when it's on the agenda. So I guess Elmer, since you're at the end, do you want to just start us off and we'll go down the line?
Elmer Vice, Chamblee City Council.
Jeremy, we have to do a roll call.
I'm doing it. Jeremy Gibbs.
And I am Brittany Harper.
Shan Willoughby.
Angela Zagora.
Kelsey Tenney.
All right. That is the roll call. Next up on the agenda, we have the approval of our January meeting minutes. And Tanisha also kindly sent those out via email. So at this time, I will take a motion to approve those minutes. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Was that Kelsey? Thank you, Kelsey. And do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Shan. Are there any discussion? Any discussion needs to be had about those meeting minutes? All right, hearing none, I'll take a vote. All in favor of approving the January 2026 meeting minutes, raise your hand. Oh, all right, that's all approved. No nays, so passes unanimously. Okay, at this time, I will turn it over to Tanisha, who will do the liaison report.
Hello, everybody. Not too much on liaison report this month. I want to talk about Art Drop because that is our soonest thing coming up, and that is in April 20th to 25th. But we technically start it with Georgia Cities Week, which starts on, I believe it goes Saturday to Saturday, so it's a little bit longer than that, 20 to 25th. So this year I am asking for help coming up with either sponsors or donations of art supplies. We will have, hopefully, again, I've already reached out to Plaid, which was a sponsor last year, and they gave us fully packaged up kits, which was really great. I seem to have lost my contact with Prismacolor, so if anyone knows a local Prismacolor agent, that would be great. We had one, and I don't seem to find a way that you can access that on their website or anything. But if anyone has any other ideas about sponsors or about in-kind donations of art supplies, I'm all ears. And then I started thinking about how we give out the art supply kits for Art Drop. And I wanted to kind of play with that a little bit because it's been kind of a difficult process, to be honest. And so what I was thinking about is a free, kind of like one of those swap meets that's nothing's for sale, right? Like you're bringing stuff that you no longer need, and it's kind of a trade or for free. And so we were thinking about maybe doing that in the new Dresden building and just setting up tables, having people come, dump their stuff. And then the more I got into planning that, I started thinking, we could sort of expand that and maybe do some skill sharing during that. We could do some tiny art for the free little art museum. I just think we could kind of play around with that and make it a nice half day where people can just come, drop in, pick up some supplies, do some fun activities, and be part of the event. So that I'm thinking about doing in the new Dresden building at Dresden Park. Yeah.
I kind of love that idea. I was going to recommend we reach out to Scraplanta. If you guys know of them, they have a Tucker location, and they get it's basically like a thrift store for a variety of supplies. And I've partnered with them for an event that I did through MARTA, and then also I shop there because they're delightful and wonderful, and everybody loves to save money. So I think that we could reach out to them, and they also do like art making activities, which is what they did for a MARTA event that I had back at the Holiday Times. And so we could probably involve them on multiple levels. So I would recommend reaching out to them, and then not sure what some other
I love
art
that
supplies
idea.
places we could reach out to. Scraplanta.
I actually have a box for them in my trunk right now. But that is a good idea, because if they couldn't help us, they likely have a lot of,
They might have
connections.
excess donations, or can reach out to their community and say, hey, we're looking for donations.
yeah,
And then also, because they are a nonprofit, if it's not necessarily a donation, but a very discounted purchase of supplies that we are then giving away, I think we would be able to support that in our budget as well.
So just to be clear, Tanisha, so instead of like the kits that you're giving away here at City Hall, that people can come and create art there with supplies that people are bringing on their own, or
Yeah,
and some sponsors as well.
so I think we still could do kits, like if we have that kind of donations.
Yeah.
Let's say like Plaid,
Right.
they do paints, so likely they would do a paint set with brushes and a surface. That's a perfect kit to just give away at the event. I kind of was just trying to kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, I like the idea of the Skillshare. I like the idea of people kind of coming, it's sort of evolving Art Drop in a way, and then people coming and creating artwork to then go and drop somewhere or not, but no, I like that idea. Okay, thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, and if any of you, this is a baby idea, but if any of you want to do a Skillshare, email me and let's kind of work it out and figure it out.
Oh, in the past, how did sponsors work? Was there financial sponsors or just,
So far, it's always been supplies, in-kind supplies.
okay, I have a couple ideas that I'll jot down.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do have a little concern about the donations, like if we do get a lot of random donations, you're sorting through almost trash sometimes, like expired markers and stuff,
true.
Yeah, so that's my only concern with that. It would probably be better to get financial aid to,
It's a good point.
and then you don't have like a uniform kit either, because you're having to kind of like piece it and parse it together.
True.
What I was thinking is if we were putting art materials and art supplies in bags, that we have bags printed with sponsors' names on them, if we can get sponsors to sponsor.
That's a great idea,
And
Jeremy.
then put them on the website and with all the,
I love that.
or I'll start working on something. Some ideas.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So we'll keep talking about that, and then, obviously, if we do this event, it would be likely maybe on a Saturday, and I would, ask that if you guys are around and can help, that, to put in a couple volunteer hours would be great. And then, so the last thing I have on this page is online volunteers. I also want to rethink how we do the online portion of it this year. In the past, I'm pretty glued to my phone for the week, because what happens is I'm looking for people using that hashtag and then reposting it and doing all the things. So I'm not really sure how to change that. I'm not sure, maybe some of you marketing folks know if there's any new like tools that we could use that, I don't know, automatically kind of do that, or if there's maybe a page that can populate with things that have that hashtag. So we usually use Art Drop Chambly, I think is what the hashtag is. So for the past, I think 3 years, if you look up that tag, our stuff comes up.
So we're just looking for a better, more efficient way to monitor the social mentions and reshare them as they are happening based on like the hashtag use, right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
if people could, like after they drop, if they could keep their eye on a single page that would be useful, because then, they're not sort of looking all over the entire internet to see if their item was found. I'm sure there's something out there, I just don't know about it yet.
I've done like the art challenges on like Instagram and stuff like that, and so, the way they do, I mean, they had like massive like contributions and stuff like that, but sometimes what they would do is they would like collect the ones that have been posted and like post like the top 10 of the day or something like that.
Okay,
I don't know, just an idea.
You're saying you want people to be able to tag it when they find?
both.
Okay, so in order to build hype and promote it, and when they find it, so that it keeps it going? Okay, I mean, we kind of do that. at
Yeah,
the
so it's a
museum.
week-long, basically, give and take. People are putting it out and then sort of waiting for someone else to find it, and then when someone finds it, they often tag the creator and then also the tag, that's on the back. Sometimes we have little printouts and things that kind of explain it.
Yeah, I think us marketing folks can maybe put our heads together and talk about some different options that might work for y'all for that part.
And we had I don't remember the exact number, but we had something like 86 drops last year. It was big, so, I mean, I assume we're gonna have even more this year.
I know that Instagram has that new repost feature. I haven't really used it, so I don't know how it's working. I think you've been using it. I know, I've been seeing Brittany. I've been seeing Brittany.
I use it a
So-
lot because it's so much easier to
But
use
does it show up on your feed as well, or?
When you share it, when you hit the little repost button, for lack of a better word, then people who follow you are more likely to see it, because it may be something that you follow or a source for information that you follow that maybe they don't follow. So the point is reshare it so that people who are in your network are seeing it. So, that's definitely something we could take advantage of. But I think we could also look at like social media monitoring tools like Hootsuite or Sprout Social or something like that, because it's easy to monitor hashtags through there and mentions and stuff like that without having to sift through full unfiltered Instagram, which can be cumbersome for sure. So yeah, we can kind of talk through that offline and offer some suggestions. I did also want to ask, because if we're trying to drum up donations and figure out how to get the materials to do for them to have these supplies, what is kind of the timeline that we should aim for to have those supplies ready? Because if we just do it where you pick up your bag of supplies, or if we decide to do this event, like how far in advance? Because I feel like if we're doing the event and they're doing art making on site, it could be during that week, maybe at the start of the week, and then doing the drops. But if they just want to collect the supplies and make it on their own, we usually have that stuff several weeks in advance, right?
We do. So some of you may remember that it's usually the high school art club that kind of puts the kits together for us, and they do that as a volunteer project. So we usually do that, probably 3 weeks ahead. Yeah. So maybe like trying to have the supplies by April 1st, if we end up having the kind of supplies that will be good for kits. So I think that'll kind of guide us maybe.
Yeah, we'll need to make sure that happens before spring break, which I think is
Yes.
the week of the 6th or 5th
Yeah.
or whatever that is.
So can you remind me, like, we're making art for those 5 days and then they're being dropped, or is it being made and then dropped at the same time simultaneously?
It's all through the whole week.
So people are making it and dropping it, and
Yeah.
then people are finding it and hopefully sharing it.
Yeah.
Okay. So could we build a contest around that? Like the first person to find a piece of art?
We could.
Okay.
Oh, so something we've done in the past is, and I don't know if we had any of this last year, but the year before we had local downtown businesses. We told them, if you want to do a drop, and put inside that drop like a coupon or a prize of some sort, then you can do that. And I know we had that little crafting place that went out of business. They did a really nice kit of supplies and then put like a coupon in it. Oh. Well, you could still do drops and put flyers in it. Yeah. Yeah.
We could also,
I mean, that is a form of art,
we'll
right?
call Kate, she could do some puppet making. We could also ask SIFA if they have any like small fabric
Yes.
project materials that could be assembled into a kit. That could be,
I was
That's a
thinking
great
the
idea.
same thing, like, I mean, stitching, which is super popular right now, is also an art form. So,
And maybe they could do a Skillshare.
oh, yes, a Skillshare, yep, for sure.
All right, well, people seem excited about that. We'll move on. All right. And so first, in old business, we tabled this last meeting, and so I'm going to turn this over to Brittany. We do need all 3 seats re-voted on.
yep. So as this happens every year, as those of you who are not new with us know, so we have 3 officer positions. There's the chair, the vice chair, and the secretary position. I have been the chair for the last 2 years. I cannot be nominated or elected as chair again. And the person who was our vice chair had stepped down, so that position is currently vacant. And then Kelsey has been our secretary for also the last 2 years, I believe, right, Kelsey? So she cannot hold that position anymore. So I think at this time, if there's any questions or concerns about what these roles do, we can have that conversation. But if not, then I can certainly just open the floor for any nominations. If anyone wants to nominate someone or nominate yourself for a role, I'm kind of a little loosey-goosey here about how the exact process needs to go. Proceed.
Okay. Can we get just like a very short explanation of?
Of each role?
Yeah. Just make it real brief.
Yeah.
Yep, that'd be helpful.
So as the chair, I can speak to what I have done in the past couple of years, which is I kind of help drive the ideation of like different project ideas. I lead the meetings. That's like the biggest thing, is that I have to call the meetings to order. You guys see me every month saying, okay, next thing, and then the next thing. Other than that, I'm just real vocal. I mean, it's not a lot. And then as the vice chair, that position really is there in case the chair is absent. So if the chair is not able to be at a meeting, then the vice chair presides over the meeting and calls to order and asks for motions to approve minutes and all of that good stuff. And then as secretary, Kelsey, if you want to speak to that, ultimately you're taking minutes for the meetings.
Taking notes.
Yeah, and then you're presenting those, or you're filling out, we have a form, a template that we use, as you guys see every month when those meeting minutes get to you. So Kelsey's often taking notes in real time, just to make it easy on the team, and then sharing that information out. So the duties are pretty light. It's really just, it's more of a formality, I think, and that sort of thing. Chair, obviously, you're just kind of like helping drive things a little more, but with with Tanisha being the city staff member, she's obviously doing a good portion of the legwork. She communicates directly to us about needs and how we can support her, what kind of information she needs from us. So, yeah, it's not very labor intensive. There may be sometimes special projects. Like there was one year we did a grant, and I helped Tanisha with that, and that was a little extra time for a few weeks, but nothing cumbersome. So, yeah.
So just to clarify, so for example, just using you as an example, Brittany, but could you take one of the other spots? Okay, so it's not that you couldn't do anything, it's just that you can't do chair.
Yeah, that's my understanding, that I
that-
could fill another role if
that fine?
necessary, but I can't be chair, because my first year I was secretary, and then I was chair for the last 2 years, and this year being my final year, it's like, I'm okay not being anything. I'm okay. vice. That's the only option for me.
Okay. But you could be something. The person could be something. Okay.
And I think because we are a small team, because Elmer, you're not allowed to hold an officer position, are you? Right, because Elmer is our city council liaison. So only the 6 people who are appointed by the city council can hold one of the officer chairs. So because we are a small group, and there's only 6 of us, and there's 3 roles, oftentimes that it comes back around. The other new person that was elected, who was here who showed up last month at the end, what was her name again? Mandy? Mandy is the other new person. She was not able to be here. So, I mean, I'm happy to keep on chatting, but
And I believe you can
Thank you.
self-nominate.
yes, you can self-nominate if you want. I know I personally would like to nominate Shan for the role of chair. I think she has done a great job in the time that she's been here, and she's got lots of great ideas, and I think she would do a really good job leading us through this year and
And
beyond.
a good example, Brittany. But I would be happy to do that if everybody else agrees. But if they don't, that's also fine. I can do one of the other 2 to take those spaces.
So we could just go one by one, or we could have discussion about all 3 and then vote on all 3 at the end. I think it's just really up to us. So I don't know, Kelsey, are you interested in maybe like vice chair?
Yeah, I could do vice chair.
Because I think since you've been secretary for 2 years, you've got just that really good knowledge of what all has been done, and you've got that background, and if Shan's not available to lead meeting, you absolutely could be doing that, so.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I don't want to leave most of the time, so.
And then just because they've also are like the more senior folks beyond me, so they've got a little bit more of the background information. And then that leaves the secretary position, which, like I said, is really just taking minutes in real time and then sharing those after the fact. So I don't know if somebody's a real good note taker. Jeremy, I don't know how you feel about taking notes.
It's like, it's a template you literally fill out. It's not gonna be-
Yeah.
Like I told Tanisha, I'll do whatever, I'm here to serve. I'll do whatever anybody wants me to.
Or Angela, are you like a bomb note taker? Okay. It's not hard. I did it my first year. I was like, I had no idea, but they were just like, you're doing it. Okay. So
I've had to sub before, and I think I went into too much detail, because that's just my personality.
all right. Any other thoughts about the nominating for any of these roles?
Are we doing one motion, or are we doing 3?
I think we'll just do one for each role, one motion for each role. Whoops. All right, well, let's start with the chair. So at this time, I guess I need a point of order here. Elmer, do I just need to ask for a motion to elect the specific person, or do I need to have like,
I would say that, well, you could almost do it as a consent item, as there's only one person per
okay,
thing. You could simply do it as consent, or
just do a vote?
just do it as a single roll call for everything.
For-
So, I mean, I would just honestly do it as a consent motion
Okay,
for all 3 of them at once and just be done.
okay,
I don't think we need to go that granular.
okay. I dig it. All right. So I guess before we go into actually having the formal motion, everyone's okay with nominating Shan as our chair for the year? Okay. And then everyone's okay with nominating Kelsey as our vice chair for the year? All right. All right, and then we've got 2 folks who said they'll do whatever for secretary. So I need a little bit more, I need a little bit more. Okay. Woo, Angela. All right, so everyone's good with nominating Angela as our secretary for the year, right? Okay, so now I will take a formal motion to elect the following PAC officers for 2026. Shan as our chair, Kelsey as our vice chair, and Angela as our secretary. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Elmer. And do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jeremy. All right, so all in favor of electing these individuals as I've already outlined for these roles, raise your hand. All right, and that passes unanimously. We now have new officers. Yeah, should I? I will do a ceremonious passing of Mayor Mock's gavel. So, no, I'm fine to continue for this meeting, and then you'll take over next month. That's totally fine. And so that kind of concludes this particular bit of business here.
All right, so Flatlander, which you guys know was damaged. We do now know that it was damaged because of ice. Water got down into like a flange and busted the weld clear off. It was pretty interesting, actually. Huh? Yeah, on the screen. So basically, there was a tube in the center that may have had a cap at some point, but it no longer had a cap, and so water got down into it, and when we had that freeze, it just whoosh, pulled it right off the base. So our friend of PAC, Phil Proctor, came and picked it up and brought it to his studio and fixed it up and reinstalled it yesterday. So that is complete. Yeah.
I know it's not listed, but can we speak a little about the other piece that I was involved in? Have we gotten any updates on that?
Oh, I don't have an official update. We are still working with them as far as them paying for it.
That's a mess.
Yeah, it's not great.
I just want everybody to know I tried to take it, and it didn't work out because there was some other issues, and it was like upstate New York,
Yeah.
not New Jersey, where I was going to New Jersey.
I did take your recommendation and looked at the Uber Freight, and that's a great way to do it because you can see the pricing for all different companies, so much easier than what I was doing.
I have a couple other ones too, so we can talk later, but I have other options.
Yeah, okay.
If shipping it to them is that cumbersome, can we negotiate and maybe we find a local person who can powder coat and paint it and then they pay for that?
So unfortunately, those quotes have all come back at between $8,000 and $15,000.
Can I speak to that a little bit? Because
Yeah.
I also did the research, and the problem is that in Georgia, the laws are so strict about chemical disposal that all the powder coat people have quit doing it. And I have a couple of welder friends that I spoke to, and they're like, well, the cheap guy doesn't do it anymore because he got busted dumping chemicals. So, yeah,
Oh,
so
dear.
it's very expensive in Georgia.
And I can confirm
Well, that's
that.
why we can't have nice things. Don't be illegally dumping chemicals.
Back to the Flatlander, did the repair that took place prevent what happened from happening again?
Yes, so I believe the core of the sculpture was reinforced and all places where water could get in were closed up. All right, and now new business, we have Andrew Bloom from Chinatown Mall, and he is coming to talk to us because they are applying for the mural grant, and they've gotten their complete application in. Everything on their end is done for that. We do have maybe one more thing we need to do on the city side before sending it to council, but I do think that we can hold a vote after this presentation with a stipulation that the city missing piece is completed before it goes to city council. So Andrew, if you want to come up.
Evening, guys. Hello. So, sorry, I've never done this before. Yeah, so my name's Andrew Blooms. I just recently took a position of the art director of Atlanta Chinatown. I'm from here, so this Chinatown was created in 1988. It's a place that I grew up going to. I went to Chinese school there. I grew up going to eat there and stuff. But in the recent years, we're on a mission to revitalize our original Atlanta Chinatown. And my role is to basically curate the arts. I also create the arts as well. So basically, my mission is to use arts, creative community events, rebranding to basically contemporize or make contemporary what also is traditional there. So as you see in these murals, these are the first two murals I did in the entranceway. This was funded through the Nexus grant through Atlanta Contemporary. So what I did was basically mimic the phoenix and the dragon motifs that are found adorning the entranceway, which is a really traditional like Chinese story representing the marriage of a male and female. So you see it at weddings and stuff like that. So as you can see here, I basically took that old Chinese story and kind of reimagined the colors and the rendering to bring that old story into our current time. So what I wanted to do with the mural that I applied for was proposing another mural to either go inside the courtyard, but I understand that the grant was asking for something public facing. So there's another facade that faces New Peachtree Road next to the Oriental Pearl restaurant that we do have a photo of that space as well. But I'm proposing to do something to do with koi fish or peonies, which is more traditional Chinese imagery. So these are some renderings of what some of those could look like. Yeah. But this is our interior courtyard here. Currently we have a tile mural on there, but if there's an opportunity to do a mural, they said we could replace that. But this is inside the courtyard, right outside of the food court.
I do apologize. I thought you meant the wall outside of the grocery store. So
Yes.
that's what's pictured here.
Yes, so this is also an option too. With this facade, it's the supermarket's facade, so the Dean Ho supermarket. So if we were to do a mural there, we kind of discussed it with them. It would be kind of commissioned through that business, so I didn't really know whether to apply for it there or the facade facing New Peachtree Road.
So quick question, so if it was on the other side, the restaurant side,
Yes.
that would not have to be through the restaurant?
Right, that's been discussed with the landlord, that they have an interest in putting a mural there, so that wouldn't be through the Oriental Pearl restaurant.
And I'm sorry, guys, I do not have a picture of that wall.
So there's three proposed locations. This, the inside, and one that we don't have a picture of.
Yes,
And can I ask one more question? Is the mural going to be, if it's this location that's being circled right now, is it the entire wall?
it won't be the entire wall, it will be a majority of the wall. But it could be as well, but yes. Okay.
That is a very public wall.
Yeah, my business is actually right across from this wall right here.
Oh.
so.
Yes, they're kind of like octagonal looking
Yes.
windows. There's about
Okay.
4 of them.
So that's the wall we're talking about.
It'd be the wall, yes,
Okay.
in between the restaurant and then where the awning kind of starts in that business row right there. It's about 20 feet. So I would like to design and paint the mural, yes.
Our max grant is 10K, and we have 50K allotted for the year. So technically 5, unless they ask for less, and then it gets a little funny math-wise.
Because I'm just wondering, because you can operate under multiple businesses, is what I'm asking. So like if we had no other applications, you know what I'm saying? That's, I mean, I'm kind of like, because I do like the idea of reinventing that inside like courtyard, because that does need refreshed as well.
And my question, so the reason I had asked for other alternative locations is I wasn't sure if the city council would consider that interior space, even though it is technically an outdoor courtyard, but it's surrounded by building. So I wasn't sure if they would kind of mark that as public. Yeah. So Andrew, can you just take a look at this picture I just pulled up? This is
Yes.
I believe they asked for
Yes.
10K. Yeah.
Okay. And this is not in a census tract thing? Can't remember what that's called.
I believe on that side of the road, they are not. Have we discussed this, Andrew?
I don't think so.
I would have to
don't think it
relook
is
it up.
either.
It's been a minute since
Yeah.
I looked it up.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. I just was wondering. Sorry, Tanisha, can you go back to the statement?
Yeah.
Yes, this was one I put together to kind of show a general idea, but what I would like to do is show them evolving, because there are, like, as it reaches the end, it will evolve into a dragon.
We vote on the image after it's been sent? Because when we voted on the other mural, I remember we didn't really get to vote on it. Like, we were able to put in some input, but there was no vote.
So we actually, we voted to approve the design, and then we sent it to city council. Unfortunately, that one was denied, but we would likely do it the same way with this. We're approving the mural design and giving a recommendation to council to approve the grant.
I mean,
Funds.
are you gonna have a rendering before you put it on the wall, or?
Yes, I can prepare that for sure, if y'all need to see that, yes. So I've been just drawing on the wall, but I'd be able to prepare something if y'all need to see.
Yeah, I feel like last time we were approving the grant to go before city council, and then we approved the concept
Yeah.
to go before city council, because I think we had a pretty long conversation about spending the time to create the final artwork, before approval, like, that didn't make sense for the artist.
Right.
Like, we approved a concept, and then we would ultimately have to approve the artwork or something, or the city had to approve it. Isn't that how that worked?
I believe the goal with the approval was that the final sign-off would be by the arts manager and the city manager to
Right.
approve the final image.
Right, okay, I remember the city manager.
But it was,
Yeah.
in the previous project, they had a pretty solid outline that they brought to us. The final details were what had to be approved by the arts manager and the city manager.
I remember that now, thank you.
I do have a couple things to tweak in there. You know, it's kind of a work in progress. So I can dig in there and make sure that we have that wording, and if not, just to say that. Because we did talk about that in the last meeting, and I don't know if that ended up sort of in the grant language.
So it sounds like we're all kind of on board. Do we want to like approve the concept, motion to approve the concept? Is that what we're doing? And then, or the grant?
Can we please make sure we're actually speaking directly into the microphones? I'm getting notes from people that they can't hear anyone.
Do we want to move forward and approve, like, motion to approve the grant or the concept, or?
I feel like we did two things last time, didn't we?
Yes,
We did the grant, and then we did the concept,
I think so, yeah.
to go to city.
Yeah,
Okay, but then who votes on location if we were looking at 3 locations?
That would have to be part of the motion to approve the grant and to approve the concept. It has to be included in both of them.
So I can make a motion?
yeah.
Okay, so, or do we discuss where we want it on the wall and then make a motion? Because I say that we make it on the wall that gets the most public view, which is whatever street with the
I think we're all
windows.
in agreement there, too.
Yes, sir.
But was there a question, sorry, but was there a question that we had to talk to the owners of Oriental Pearl first? Was there still a question about that?
I think you've already spoken to them, and
Okay.
it's the landlord that we already have that documentation saying that they.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and that landlord has that building as well. I know it's all connected, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah, and
Okay.
we have that affidavit.
Okay.
And just for explanation, that was the issue that came up in the last application. Is that the property owner had not also agreed to this.
Correct.
Okay, so it sounds like we are in agreement on where we are recommending that this mural go. It sounds like we are also we're all in favor of this particular concept that the artist has placed before us, but we were asking to see the final sketch before the work begins. And then that would need to be, I think what happened like last time we said that would be shared with this team via email, and we would offer any feedback on the final sketch. If I'm remembering incorrectly, please someone correct me. But we would offer any feedback on the final piece of art that's going to go on the wall, and then, but the final approval would be had between city manager and public art manager. Right. Does that sound like everybody's remembering correctly?
That sounds correct.
By everybody, I mean me? Okay. All right, so the motion, Jeremy, if you want to make it, would be that we are the restaurant wall, I guess, facing New Peachtree with the windows on it, if you want to be extra clear.
So I make a motion to approve the grant for a mural on Oriental Pearl wall facing New Peachtree for a concept of the koi growing into a dragon, pending on approval of art concept, art drawings, renderings. Motion.
Do I have?
Second.
Thank you, Elmer. We have a second. Is there any additional discussion that we need to have on the motion? Okay, hearing none, I will ask for everyone to, if you are voting yes on the motion that Jeremy outlined, then raise your hand. All right, we are approved unanimously.
You guys.
Congratulations.
Thank
you
you,
guys very
Andrew.
much.
Thank you, Andrew.
We look forward to seeing it.
Yes, definitely.
So just so you're aware, then now this will go to city council. I will be the one likely to present that to council, so you don't have to do this over again. And I'll let them know what the concept is. We'll get a good image of that wall, and we'll make a staff recommendation. And then they'll let us know, how and when we're moving forward. Thank you so much.
Tanisha, would you mind giving us a heads up on when you're going to be doing that in front of the city?
Yeah, it'll likely be at the March meeting, at the
Okay.
March regular meeting.
Okay.
And also, I just want to make sure, Andrew, that you're aware, this is, of course, pending that all of the supporting documents that you guys have to provide have been provided, and I know that you've been working with Tanisha on that. So you have the art council approval that you need, or art commission approval that you need, but any further roadblocks would be if there's any additional supporting documents that the city requires. So you would just liaise with Tanisha on that.
Sure. Yeah, so master plan,
I'm so sorry, I had to cut you off. I realized I did not have my microphone on, so I want to repeat that for
Oh, sure.
anybody
Go
who's
ahead.
watching.
Yep.
I was just saying that I wanted to ask for an update on the Arts Master Plan, which is part of our budget and plan for projects this year.
So I don't have a huge update on that. We did get the final contract back from legal with some small changes. Got that back to the company, and they, kind of signed off on that and sent it back. And now I'm basically just waiting for approval to put that on the city council agenda.
So assuming you get approval for that to be on March, then it's basically there, you guys would be, what is the ask to city council that they sign off on the costs to move forward?
Yeah, the ask is to have the mayor sign the contract and commit them to the work.
Gotcha, okay, just thank you for clarifying. Realized I did not have my mic on a second time. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm usually much better about that. Public comment, anyone? Bueller? Bueller? All right, hearing no public comment, I will ask for a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Shan. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you, Angela. Any discussion that needs to be had about adjourning?
When is the next meeting? March what? Ah,
There you go.
all right.
All right, hearing no further discussion, I will take a motion, or all in favor of adjourning tonight's meeting, raise your hand. Awesome, we are so adjourned. Thanks you, everybody.